ladies and gentlemen. I thought I'd share with you today on this video some strange things I've caught on the camera. And this happens to be the edge of the 2018 eclipse. I caught this on camera. Looks like a bird, but it's transparent. Can't be an owl, the body's not big enough. But your guess is as good as mine, so please leave a comment if you think you know what anything of this is. Here's a light orb in the middle of the day in these dark woods. Can't explain this one. Now here's a strange wind. And what makes it so strange, if it's some kind of wind, there's no, these little sampling limbs of the leaves that's left on them is not moving. But there's some kind of misty wind moving uphill. Here, I noticed on one of the camera pictures when I pull the cards, it's like a face or a head looking at you from behind a tree. And this was awful strange. And here I got a close-up of it blowed up. Couldn't tell you. Well, this is just a black bear in my front yard. This is a strange thing. Never see a bear around here. Well, this deer looks like the Walking Dead or something. It's been hit by a car or something. I have no idea. I don't even know how it's walking around. Just look how mangled up it is. Now here's something strange. This is not a cougar or a mountain lion or maybe even a panther. It's just some kind of crossbreed cat. It looks like a house cat in the head, but it's not. It's like 4 times bigger than a regular house cat can possibly get. Now I caught this back at the edge of a field and I started walking towards it. Well, look at the tail on it. The tail's as long as the body is. That's not a normal cat. It's some kind of crossbreed mountain cat. Now here I caught a picture of it walking the edge of the fields late one evening. Looks like a house cat, but it's like 3 or 4 times the size of one. Look at the tail on it. Now here I caught a picture of it on the trail cam, sitting there watching it for something to come through to jump on. I put an actual panther's head beside it and a zoomed in blow up of it, of what's laying there. Now you tell me what you think. It's some kind of cat. Now here's some kind of ghost animal caught on camera. It's transparent, moving around over here in your lower right hand screen. You can still see it here in the next frame. Can't explain that one. Now Now here's some little white orbs dancing around in the trees. They're going through it, around them. Just don't, it can't be bugs. But they can't explain that one either. Now here, I happened to check out an old 1840 plantation house in East Tennessee. And there's some strange things I found on camera here. But here's the family that used to live here when they built this house back in, this picture was took in 1870. It's said to be, it's so beautiful. This little garden here they got with the house said to be children running around and nobody there. And this here is an old gate back when they built this house. They said a Confederate soldier was shot and killed here. And on certain days, you could see his ghost moving around through the gate where he died at. But I never caught no such a thing. You can still see the bullet holes in the brick. Now here in the house, in the parlor room, the previous owners had tried to shoot a ghost with a shotgun coming through the door. I'd say they didn't work out too good. And he'd been seeing ghosts all in the house, and it scared him, so he wouldn't sleep in his bed. He would sleep up in a loft here, get a ladder and sleep up in a loft so he could hide from the ghost, so they could have the house at night. Now here above the kitchen, walking up above the servants' quarters of the kitchen where the slaves lived, and the house is under renovation. Beautiful place. And I got to noticing we kept hearing knocking noises in the floor sometimes, and we just took a bunch of pictures while we was up here, and here's what we come up with. In one of the pictures, this looks like an old lady, some kind of gown or clothing or something, standing in the doorway. And in another frame picture, this looks like a little child, little boy or little girl walking out of the doorway, out of the wall or something. But you couldn't notice this with your eyes. Here's a close-up picture of it. See how it's just weird. Just like it's coming out of the woodwork. Here's a better close-up picture. I thought it was a little boy. The more you look at it, it looks like a little girl. Look at the eyes, look at the hair. But like you said, you couldn't see it with the naked eye. And we snapped some more pictures, and there was an orb on the wall. That never was there. And outside, we just looking around and stuff, and they happened to be a guy standing here in one of the pictures back here on the bottom left-hand side. There was nobody in our group like that, or dressed like that. Here's a better close-up of it. We couldn't explain this one, who this person was. They wasn't there. But yet, he's in the picture. And here you look at this the old glass in this house, and just happened to see, looks like images of faces. And here in the basement of this old place, we checked it out, and I've seen some weird orbs under here. This is where they used to keep the slaves. They would chain them to the wall when they misbehaved. and you just see orbs flying at you. This is a damp place, so I know it's not dust. Just little balls of light moving at me all around me. Especially on this side. Now here I happened to notice in one of my clips an orb, just a green orb, come out of the ground and went around me. Disappeared. This here's Lost Creek Cemetery. It's on the Sharps Chapel Peninsula in Tennessee. It's probably one of the oldest in East Tennessee. And they say there's 300 graves here. Well, there ain't 100 of them that's marked or got stones of any kind on them. But I happened to notice something in the corner of my eye moving, so I snapped some pictures. There's something behind this tree looking out at me. Now, I thought it was a tombstone or something. Went back there and looked at it when I was there later on. And no, there's no tombstone there, not even behind there. It just got a best close-up I can get with the technology that I have. It looks like a little bitty head sticking out. And here, on an unknown soldier's grave marker from the Revolutionary War, is an orb coming out of the ground. Just weird. This one here is a War of 1812 veteran. Don't that look like faces to you on this tombstone? And I don't remember them being there years ago. And this is how old this graveyard is. This guy here fought with John Sevier at the Battle of Kings Mountain. It's so old that half these can't even be read, if they've got tombstones at all on them, just sunken places in the ground. I thank y'all for watching, and hope you enjoy.